Just gonna say, don't try this at home. I'm doing it because, well, I'm cheap and what's happening is the breaker's not tripping, but I'm losing power down the line after my heater. So from what I understand is I probably have a loose connection somewhere and it's probably overheating that connection and causing a break in the circuit. So it's intermittent, which is kind of scary because it would make it sort of like a stove element where you see it glowing red. It can cause arcing and can cause fire. Now this isn't a DIY project or someone I just hired off of Facebook or something. This comes with an electrical safety certificate, and the work was completed a year ago, not even. So yeah, hopefully I'll find some evidence of what's going on and I can send it to the guy and say, hey, look, this is faulty. So before doing any of this, obviously I shut the breaker down, and then I checked the circuit to see if it was live. It's good practice to stick a note on the circuit breaker so you don't have anybody accidentally coming in and turning it on you while you're working on it. Here I was just moving around the outlet to see if anything was loose. There is some movement inside internally. I wasn't too worried about it when I first saw it, but more on that later. These were pretty snug, but I snugged them up more just for good measure. Not too much though, I didn't want to strip them. Well, this one does move internally a little bit like the other one, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But this one looks pretty good. I don't see any smoke or arcing and none of the wires are loose. I mean, I did the same thing on all the other outlets on the circuit, checking for loose connections, checking for overheating, any movement internally. Next thing I'm going to do, I have this FLIR camera. I'm going to check and see if there's any hot spots in any of the wires, and then see what happens after that. You can see the image on the FLIR camera paused on the outlet. For a comparison, here's the FLIR camera on the heater element. You can see how much higher the temperature is. If the outlet was arcing or there was a hot spot, you'd expect to see something more in that range. And this is the temperature of the outlet where the heater is plugged into. So I was reading a bit more about what could cause this, and one thing was talking about, I guess there's spring retentions inside of the outlet, and as thermal expansion and contraction happen, it'll actually cause it to disconnect the circuit and reconnect the circuit, just with like minimal movement, just from heat and heating and cooling. So at first outlet, it seems to be where we are losing the power. I think we actually no, we still have it. So I mean, it's a pretty cheap solution. I could put a new plug in it and just see if it happens again, or I could call an electrician out to probably tell me the same thing. Scan them all with the FLIR camera, and nothing's overheating. I mean, it's a little bit warm where this heater unit is plugged into, but nothing to be upset about. Okay. Love you. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thanks for checking out my video. Like and subscribe, and see you on the next one, kids.